Shalom and welcome. As we settle into the quiet of this Sabbath, let's just take a moment to listen. We're going to try to set aside all the noise of the week and really let the words of Yeshua find their place in our hearts. He spoke them not just for the people who were there with him, but for us, right here, right now. So let's start with one of his first instructions to us. It starts right here with this simple but incredibly powerful command. Yeshua knew. He knew the world would feel shaky, that our hearts would face all kinds of pressure and confusion. So this isn't him just brushing off our troubles. It's an anchor. He's pointing us toward the one thing that remains firm when everything else feels like it's shifting. So, where do we find this peace he's talking about? This first section really gets to the heart of it. The world tells us peace is what happens when all our problems finally go away. But Yeshua, he offers something completely different, something so much more real and stable. And this is the key distinction, isn't it? Our circumstances, they're going to go up and down. That's just life. But the word of Yehovah, that doesn't change. So true, lasting peace isn't about having a problem-free life. It's about being connected to the one who is truth itself, our unshakable foundation. And this connection isn't something we have to guess about or hope for. Yeshua made it incredibly clear. He didn't leave us hanging. Let's look at how he actually builds on this promise of peace. Just think about the weight of these promises for a second. He's going to prepare a place for us. He will come again. And maybe most powerfully for right now, he says, I will not leave you as orphans. This isn't just about some far-off future event. It's about right now. It's his guarantee that even though he wasn't physically present, his care, his guidance, and his presence would never, ever leave us. So how does he do it? How does he maintain that presence with us? Well, it's through the helper. And notice, this isn't some new teacher with a new message. No, the Spirit of Truth does two things. It brings Yeshua's own words back to our minds, and it does what Yehovah always promised he'd do. It writes the very same Torah, his instructions, directly on our hearts. And that's the whole point. The Spirit is what empowers us to actually live out the instructions that Yeshua himself lived out perfectly. It's not about replacing the Torah. It's about giving us the strength from the inside out to guard it, to treasure it, to walk in it. This brings us to a really foundational idea, the way. See, this wasn't some new religion Yeshua was inventing out of thin air. He was calling people back to the original path, the ancient way of walking with Yehovah. And then he says this. It's so direct. When Yeshua says, I am the way, he's declaring that he is the living, breathing embodiment of that path. He is the Torah made flesh. So to follow him is to walk that ancient path of Yehovah. In Hebrew, the word for this is halakha. It literally means the walk. It's not just some abstract belief system. It's about how your feet actually move, day by day, step by step. It's a life that's shaped by listening to and trusting those foundational instructions he gave us from the very beginning. And what fuels that walk? Love. Yeshua never ever separates loving him from obeying him. They're two sides of the very same coin. To love him is to guard his instructions, and his instructions are the Father's instructions. There's no daylight between them. Okay, so now we get to one of the most beautiful and I think profound pictures in all of Scripture. It's an image that ties everything we've been talking about together, the vine and the branches. So simple, so direct, and so powerful. Yeshua just lays it all out with these words. He is the source, he is the life, and we are connected directly to him. Everything we need comes from him. Let's just sit with this for a minute because every single part here matters. Yeshua. He's the true vine. We, his followers, we're the branches. The Father is the vine dresser, the one who cares for the whole vineyard. So what's the lifeblood? What's the sap that flows from that vine into us, the branches, giving us life? It's the Torah. It's his instructions. Without that life-giving flow, the branch just withers. It's that simple. This kind of connection, it demands a belief that's alive, that's active. I mean, think about Abraham. He didn't just mentally agree with Yehovah. No way. He first listened to the word, then he trusted the promise, and then he got up and he walked. His belief dictated his entire life. And it's the exact same for us. And Yeshua couldn't be any clearer about this. This isn't a friendly suggestion, it's a statement of fact. Any spiritual life, any righteousness, any good fruit we think we might be able to produce, it is literally impossible if we are not connected to Him, the vine. We are 100% dependent on Him.
And you know what that dependence does? It leads straight to humility. If all the growth, all the faithfulness, it all comes from Jehovah working in us as we stay connected to Him, well then there is absolutely zero room for us to pat ourselves on the back. Our confidence is in His faithfulness, not our own efforts.
So, what happens when we stay connected? What's the natural result of abiding in the true vine, drawing life from His Torah? Well, we start to bear fruit. It's the inevitable outcome. Part of that fruit is being kadosh, or set apart. Now, this isn't about being weird just for the sake of being weird. It's about a fundamental alignment. It means we're consciously choosing to align ourselves with a different king and His kingdom, with His ways, instead of the ways of the world around us. This just lays it out so clearly, doesn't it? There are really only two paths. Are we being shaped by the world, taking our cues from its ever-changing values? Or are we being shaped by the Torah, aligning ourselves with the ways of a different king, walking a path the world might not recognize and probably won't understand? Now, part of this process of growth involves pruning, and it is so important that we see this the right way. When the Father prunes us, it is never a punishment. It's not a sign of His displeasure. It is a sign of His love, of His investment in us. He is carefully tending to us because He wants us to bear even more fruit. And all of this brings us right back to where we started, to this very moment. The Sabbath is our time to stop, to rest, and to simply remember His words. It's not the time for arguing about them or trying to weigh them against what we want. It's a time to just listen and receive. Let this final thought just settle deep into your spirit. This is the ultimate promise that holds up everything else we've talked about. We are not without direction. We have not been left to ourselves to just figure it all out. We remain in Him, and He remains with us, always. And so the real question for us to carry with us into the coming week is this. How will these words, this incredible truth of being connected to the vine, how will it shape our halacha, our actual day-to-day walk? May we all walk in the life and the peace that He so freely gives. Shabbat Shalom.